Hey, Scott Smith here, motivational listener, returning from social media marketing world in San Diego, California. This is an event put on each year by Mike Stelzner and the crew at Social Media Examiner, a lot of volunteers. They had an all-star band, and the bass player was a man named Reggie McBride. Everything was winding down and people were heading back. Reggie and I had a chance to talk a little bit, and he was gracious enough to allow me to record some of that conversation. So take a listen to his story. It's very interesting, and maybe it'll be encouraging for you as well. He, being a musician, had a career that was a little non-standard as far as his family was concerned. So take a listen.
We got to capture all the stories and stuff before they go away. My 8th grade teacher took us to see Ike and Tina Turner when I was 12. We grew up in Inkster, and it was a really small town. I said, Ike and Tina, she asked us, me and this drummer were in a band, just me and him, and she knew it, and she picked us out. And she said, you guys want to go see Ike and Tina Turner? We said, what? Ike and Tina Turner? Yeah. I was just blown away by the big band. They had about 5 horns, but King Curtis was in the band. And we saw them play, and we walked away with our mouths open like, wow, that's incredible. My brother my older brother used to take us to see Motown Review all the time. So we used to see Stevie play, and we saw Smokey Robinson and the Miracle, all on the same show. And they played all the hits, because that's all there was. I was fortunate enough to just be influenced by all those guys, and buying the records and just listening to them over and over again. Because when I listened to a record, I would drop the needle 100 times until I nail that part. And the drummer was the same way. We were playing it with talent shows, and when I was 12 and 13 years old, I was the leader of the band, and we used to learn songs verbatim like the record. We thought they were just like the record, but they sounded pretty good. And I was the band leader, so I was the only one that could read music. I was the only one that had an ear. So I tell all the horns. I was a little 12-year-old guy, and I'm telling the horns what to do, like Tighten Up by Archie Bell and the Drills. We won the talent show with that. And for me, that was just like, let's make it mellow. That just did it. The audience would just go nuts every time we did that. I got with the Dramatics, and we went out with James Brown, and I used to stand on the side and just watch that band play every single night. I bought every record that he ever did. Fred Carter was the bass player, and I used to just, ask him. I said, how you do that, man? Let me watch. Let me see. Let me just watch what you're doing. And they would share everything. They would say, well, if you miss one note with James, it'll come out of your paycheck. And I said, what? And for sure enough, 5, 10, 15, when James did that, he'd turn around and swing around 5, 10, 15, 20. $20 would come out of their check, and they wasn't making that much. And, oh yeah, to the bridge. And if you missed that bridge, that was some real discipline. So I get this call one day when I was 17. And I said, hello, Reggie? I said, yeah. He said, this is Stevie. I said, Stevie who? And he said, Stevie Wonder. I said, you're lying. He said, no. I said, you're bullshitting me. Huh? He said, no. Because that's a slang that we used to use. You bullshitting me. And he said, no. And the more he talked, I was going like, wait a minute. This really is Stevie Wonder. You know, up until then, traveling on the road with the Dramatics was charming. I mean, to say the least. You know, the money was real low, and we just, but we had fun for what it was when I was 15 years old. And so by the time I got with Stevie, I said, I can't believe this. And he said, yeah, this is Stevie Wonder. And he said, Ray Parker told me to call you. And I want you to fly out to New York. I said, fly to New York? I said, yeah. I want you to audition to be in my band. And I said, okay. And he sent me a plane ticket, and that was it. I stuck with him for about 3 or 4 years. And he never did tell you that you had the gig. He would just call you. You would get a plane ticket in the mail. My father was an electrician. I told him I wanted to be a musician. He said, no, you're going to be an electrician. He came out to L.A. to visit us. And I had a brand new Cadillac. He said, my father came out. He said, let me drive your car. I said, yeah, boy, yeah, take the keys. And he went around the block, and he came back. And he sat there in the den, you know. He said, when you coming back home? I said, Dad, I got a brand new Cadillac. I got a house with a pool. I don't want to come back. And I was 21. You know, he was finally convinced that this is what I was going to do.
What a great honor it was to be able to speak with Reggie McBride, bass player for the All-Star Band at Social Media Marketing World this year. Hey, this is Scott Smith, motivational listener. You can connect with me on Twitter at D_Scott and email scott@dscottsmith.com. Have a fabulous day. Cheers.